EGR 6163, Project Management, Module 5, Lecture 2, Estimating Project Times and Cost. So in this lecture, we're going to finish up this module. We'll talk about the different kinds of costs associated with the project. We'll define a white elephant and provide some examples. And again, the reading assignment is Larson Chapter 5. So the level of detail in the is different for different levels of management. At any level, the detail should be no more than necessary and sufficient. Top management interests usually center on the total project and major milestones, events that mark the major accomplishments. Middle management might center on the one segment of the project or one milestone. And first-time managers' interest may be limited to one task or work package. That's one of the beauties of the WBS, is that the ability to aggregate network information so each level of management can have the kind of detail necessary to make the decisions they need. Makes it a lot easier using the work package WBS. So the level of detail in the WBS varies with the complexity of the project, the need for control, or the project size, cost, and duration, and other factors. If the structure reflects excessive detail, there's a tendency to break the work and effort into department assignments, and so this can can create more unproductive paperwork and cause a lot of problems. You can also have, if you have inadequate detail, this falls short of meeting the structure's needs, so that can become a problem as well. So assuming work packages are defined and detailed cost estimates can be made, here are the typical kinds of costs found in a project. First is what's known as the direct cost. These are clearly changeable, it's clearly chargeable to a specific work package. So that you can look at your WBS. So those, and the work packages cost, that's your direct cost. Then there's what's called the direct project overhead cost. These can also be tied to project deliverables or work packages. For examples are the salary of the project manager, temporary rental space for the project team, supplies, and specialized machinery. Then you have your general and administrative costs, overhead costs, G&A costs. These are not tied directly linked to a project, but you still have to have these. These are for things like advertising, accounting, salary of senior management above the project level. Those are just overhead kind of costs. So here's an example of a contract bid summary cost, breaking it down into the direct cost, the direct overhead cost. These two add up to be the total direct cost. You have your G&A overhead, which is 20% of the direct cost. So that'd be 20,000. So your total cost is going to add up to be 120,000. Then if you figure a 20% profit margin, 20% of 120,000 is 24,000. So your total bid is 144,000. So this is a good way to estimate the cost. And of course, the direct costs, those come from just adding up the work package costs. So there's a lot of reasons for when you might go in and refine an estimate. There's a lot of interaction costs are hidden in the estimates. If the normal conditions do not apply, you might have to go in and refine the estimates. Things can often go wrong on projects, which leads to refining estimates. If the project scope or plans change, obviously that's going to change the estimate. People also can make mistakes. They become overly optimistic about how long something's going to take. That can push out the time and therefore increase the cost. And also, people can misrepresent things, and so that also can be a case where you have to go in and refine estimates. So, and also, honestly, the best way to improve estimates is basically to build a database. When established firms are going to, it's not going to be the first time they've done similar projects. If you have a contractor that builds houses, he's done a few before, and so the more he does, the more accurate his estimation gets. And so what he does is he builds a database, a historical database. He uses all of his experience, and builds this database. And once he gets his database built, he can sort of look at a project, and he can tell you, that this project is going to cost this much because he's done enough of them. And so any established firm is going to have a database of project estimates, and they'll actually be able to compare what they estimated the cost was going to be, and then what the actual cost was. And so over time, the estimated value and the actual value will actually get a lot closer. And so that's typically what an established firm is able to do. And of course, new firms, they're going to have to learn by experience. They're going to have to build up this database to get better and better.